Good evening. Hi there. How is everyone?
Good evening to you. We're fine.
How are you?
Oh, I hope it works.
Good night, Mr. Chair. How are you, Mr. Chair? Good night, Mr. Dixon, Mr. Nixon.
Hi, good evening, Fran.
How are everybody doing? Hi, Dante.
How are you, Fran?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm as good as it's gonna get.
You know it can get better, right?
Working on it.
Linda, girl, how about you, girl?
I am trying. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Cold. It's cold outside.
It is. It's very cold. Very, very cold. Mr. Burke? I'm seeing a few names. So good evening, everyone. It's good to see everyone on this platform. We are nice and toasty at home and it's cold outside. So
Hey,
it's good to see
Francesca.
everyone.
How are you, Francesca?
I'm okay, Mr. Burke. How are you?
Good, good, good.
Wonderful.
Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Microphone check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good evening. Good evening.
So it's
Good
good to
evening,
see the
Council
family.
Member Hudson. Great to see you.
Member.
Good to see you, Fred.
Good evening, council member.
Hey, Crystal, it's Warren. Welcome.
Hey, Warren. How are you?
Good, good, good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. I've got two folks from my team that are going to be joining as well,
Okay.
just in case if you see the names, Kristen and Jeremy. Or it may come up as Anna Luisa again. I don't know.
Good evening.
Dr. Phillips, good evening.
And Dr. Phillips.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Phillips.
Good evening.
Crystal, what's up?
Primo, hello. How are you?
Good. It's good to
Good
see
to
you, friend.
see you.
Good night, Primo.
Good evening.
Hello,
Good
hello.
evening. Dante, can I ask you to make my two folks? Oh, good. I see Kristen is there. And then Jeremy as well, who's probably also on as Anna Luisa.
Oh.
Kristen, you just have to
Is that
rename.
Jeremy Lockett?
Yes,
Jeremy
Jeremy
Lockett?
Lockett, please.
Okay, he is in the attendee, so if you can
All
let
right.
him in, he's in the attendee.
Thank you.
All right, Dante, how are we looking in the waiting room?
There's no one waiting at this moment, but once, as people come in, we'll admit.
Okay. All right. All right. We'll give another minute or so. There's actually one person that I'm waiting for here. I haven't seen it yet. Me. Give it about another minute, and then we are going to call the meeting to order. Okay. Dante, anybody else in the waiting room?
Nope.
Okay. We are going to begin now. Madam Secretary, are you ready to begin recording the minutes?
Yes, you're ready to go.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Okay. We are now calling this meeting to order. The time is now 7:04 p.m. I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening for our general board meeting for Community Board 9. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. I hope all is well with you and your family. The end of last year was definitely a tough time for the city, for the nation, for many of us personally as well. 2022 has also had its challenges as well. I know on personal level for a number of friends, family, and for our city. At this time, I think it's only appropriate. I will want for Community Board 9 to recognize a moment of silence. We saw the city suffered a great loss with the loss of 2 officers who gave their lives in the line of duty. I want to also offer this moment of silence for all the victims of gun violence. For those families, the families of the victims of the Bronx fire, who continue to need support from not just the Bronx, but from our city all around. They need us, and we need to support them. Also, on a personal level or closer to home, I also want to ask everyone to please remember Melanie Lewis, who lost her mother, Judy Lewis, who was a part of this community, a vibrant community member who contributed a lot. So I would ask at this time for everyone to please recognize this moment of silence. Okay, thank you, everyone. All right, we are going to begin the agenda. We are going to have some variations this evening, just in the interest of time. We do have some guests with us that are joining this evening. I'm not sure if he is here yet. Well, actually, just because I see her right there. We do have with us this evening our newly elected council member, Crystal Hudson, representing the 35th, correct?
Yes, sir.
Welcome. Congratulations. We look forward to working with you as a community board. At this time, we'd like to offer you a little bit of time if you'd like to address the board and the community.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And good evening, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be here at Community Board 9 with all of you. I actually want to take the opportunity to introduce 2 folks from my team, one of whom will leave make a few announcements for you. But Jeremy Lockett is Jeremy, you can wave. Awesome. Thank you. He is our manager of community organizing and advocacy, and is a resident of Crown Heights. So he'll definitely be joining these meetings in the future, along with Kristen Jeffries. Kristen, if you can give a wave, thank you, who is our Director of Constituent Services and Community Engagement. And Kristen has a few announcements on behalf of our office. I've presented to this community board many times, and so I wanted to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves and leave you with a few announcements. But I look very much forward to working with everyone, continuing to work with everyone, and thanks for allowing us the opportunity to speak this evening.
Thank you so very much, Councilmember Hudson. Okay, let me see.
All right, Kristen had a couple of announcements she was going to share.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sure,
Okay,
absolutely.
Hi. Hi,
Okay.
everyone.
Go ahead.
Nice to meet you all for the first time. Definitely look forward to serving alongside you. Just a few quick things. Our discretionary funding applications are due February 22nd. And we do have 2 workshops for nonprofits on how to apply. That's going to be on February 1st and February 10th at 6 p.m. We'll send all the details to Community Board 9 so that you guys can forward it out to the community. Also, following the tragic fire in the Bronx, there was a recent article in the city highlighting that Crown Heights and Bed-Stuy have some of the most violations for non-closing fire doors. So our office is partnering with Senator Myrie's office to address these violations as a whole. So if you live in a building that has these sorts of issues, please let us know. We're happy to help. Also, I think we have like 2 more quick things. Yeah. Another thing with the expiration of the eviction moratorium earlier this month, we definitely want to announce that the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, known as ERAP, has reopened. And if anyone needs help applying for this program, also please let us know. We'll forward all of the our contact info in the chat, just so everyone has it. And lastly, the council member has been appointed chair to the Committee on Aging. And we're very excited given her life experience as a caregiver to her mother. As such, we love to hear from the community directly about any adult centers that you think are in need or that you love that need some extra attention. Again, we'll leave all of our info in the chat. And we look forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak as well.
Thanks, Kristen. And I just noticed that there's no chat. It's just a Q&A. So I wanted to just share our contact info, and then we'll follow up again so it's shared with everyone. But it's District 35 at council.nyc.gov. District 35 at council.nyc.gov. And our phone number is 718-260-9191.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you also have, is your district office also set up as well?
We're currently remote, I think, until February, and then we'll be in the district office. We'll be temporarily in the former district office, which is at 55 Hanson Place, before we move into a new space. And once that happens, we'll be sure to let everyone know, the location and our operating hours. Once we're up and running back in person, we'll let you know the operating hours for making appointments and visiting in person.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And for anyone who did not get the information, we're also going to make sure we capture that, and we'll also have that available through the district office. So if anyone would like that and didn't get it the first time, contact the office and we'll give it to you. Okay, Jeremy, what about you? Would you like to say a few words or?
Sure, I'm not afraid of saying hello, and it's definitely a pleasure being on this call. As a resident of Crown Heights, it's really good to be here. What's good, everybody? I wish I could put my contact information in the chat as well, but it's pretty easy to remember. It is jlockett@council.nyc.gov. And I'm gonna be looking forward to working with y'all and getting out there. Thank you so much for making the time for me to just speak for a quick second. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and looking forward to working with the council member and her team. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And this is not to rush you off. Absolutely, you're more than welcome to stay as we continue our meeting.
We'll be here, don't worry.
Okay. All right. We are also expecting some additional members as well. Looks like they're not here, or some additional elected officials as well. Looks like they're not here. So please, I would ask that you all bear with me. We will recognize them when they come in as well, because I understand that there's some schedule juggling that's happening as well. All right. So with that, we're going to
somebody
go back.
from Rita Joseph's office put in the
Yeah.
Q&A that she's here.
She is here. Okay, perfect.
Hi, so the member actually is not here, but I'm here on behalf of the office. Hi, everyone. My name is Taekwon Coleman. I'm the council member's director of constituent services. So at some point, any issue that you have in the area will come through me. So I just want to share my email really quickly. So it's tcoleman@council.nyc.gov. Our telephone number is 718-287-8762. Once again, that's 718-287-8762. And my council cell phone number is 929-496-6341. Once again, that's 929-496-6321. Thank you. 41, sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. We're looking forward to working with you and the council member as well. All right. Okay, so we are going to continue on in the agenda, and I apologize. We had, so very briefly, I just want to remind everyone of the rules of order for the meeting. We are going to waive the reading. The rules of order are available on the community board website. Very simply, the rules of order are, this is a place where we exchange ideas, where we talk about how we can make our community better. The one thing that we would ask for all members to do is to make sure that we respect all those who are speaking, to respect all the viewpoints, and we can agree to, we can disagree without being disagreeable. So the idea being, we're here to discuss, and hopefully through the conversations and dialogue, we build and we create solutions that help our community. Just quick housekeeping announcement as well. So for all those members, if you are dialing in or if you are present, if you need to be recognized, please make sure to use the raised hand function. If you are attending via phone and during the public commentary section, you wish to be recognized, please use the *9 function is for raised hands. Is that correct? I always mix that up. Yes, I believe *9 will raise your hand. *9 will lower your hand as well. And please make sure to use the *6 function. If you're muted, *6 will unmute you, and use the *6 again to mute yourself again. That toggles the mute function on here. As long as, well, as a matter of fact, before we continue, I do see a raised hand. I do see a representative from Councilmember Darlene Mealy's office. Mr. Plushnik, would you like to give a few words?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for giving the opportunity. I'm new to this community. I'm working here with Councilmember Darlene Mealy. My name is Jack Plushnik. I just wanted to introduce myself and just let everyone know that Councilmember Mealy is back and she's better than ever. We're rocking and rolling, and we just wanted to let everyone know that we're here. As Councilmember Hudson mentioned earlier, funding requests are open. I'm sorry? Funding requests are open for those that are interested in, who belong to nonprofits or interested in applying for discretionary funding. So they'll be open until February 21st, I believe. So if anyone's interested in filing for any discretionary funding with Councilmember Mealy, you can contact our office. I'm going to include our information in the Q&A area, but in case you don't see that, for everybody that needs it, our phone number is 718-953-3097, 718-953-3097. Our email address is district41@council.nyc.gov. That's district41@council.nyc.gov. I also just wanted to let everyone know that the council member was recently appointed as chair for the subcommittee on senior centers and food insecurity. And she's also on several other committees as well. So I just wanted to let everyone know about that as well. And if anyone has any concerns or any issues they'd like to bring to the council member tonight, you can feel free to message me privately on the Zoom, and I'll be more than happy to see what we can do to help and assist. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Looking forward to working with you and with working with Councilmember Mealy again.
Likewise.
Okay. All right, so at this time, we are going to return back to the agenda. For all the other representatives of elected officials, we will make sure that during the acknowledgements portion of the meeting, we will give all of you an opportunity to speak as well and address the board. At this time, we are going to item number 2 on the agenda, presentations. We are very pleased to have with us this evening Reverend Dr. Lula Phillips of Weill Cornell Medical Hospital, the Clinical and Translational Science Center, who will be giving a presentation before the board this evening. Dr. Phillips, are you there?
Yes, I am. I have to ask, I beg your indulgence, my camera conked out on my Zoom. So it's not working, so I apologize for that. What I'd like to do is, if possible, could I share my screen? Could I share my screen?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you see this? Oh, wait,
No.
no, not yet. Now,
Okay.
okay. I work for the Community Research Division of Weill Cornell Medicine, which is known as the Clinical Translational Science Center. We're funded by the National Institute of Health, and our main objective is to do clinical trials. So we do clinical trials, and we have all of the modalities that support the development of clinical trials. Excuse me. So to fast track them, because it could take 10, 12, 14, 15 years for the development of a new medical intervention, emotional or device intervention in terms of clinical trials. So it takes quite a bit of time, especially if you don't have a large group of people in science all working on the same task. So one of the things that the National Institute of Health has required, and that is they have required that the community be involved in clinical research. And at the Clinical Translational Science Center at Weill Cornell Medicine, part of my responsibility is to get the community involved. We have a community advisory board that we invite members of the community to join. And at this board, what they do is they look at grants that are submitted to the Clinical Translational Science Center, and they evaluate them. They evaluate the community applications. So nonprofit organizations can apply for grants. Then you have your academic people can apply for grants in community. But it is so important that community people review community applications, because sometimes people can define a community as me, you, and my cousin Bo, and that just is not a community. So if we're going to define a community, it could be a community of professionals, it could be a community who think alike, it could be a community of the same ethnicity, or it could be a group of people who are interested in one condition, such as cancer or lymphoma. So it's how you define community. One of the things that we need is community people involved. So one of the things that I did was I developed a program called the Community Research Academy that's open, it's free, it's online, and we do it periodically. I have live presentations, live speakers, and it has 13 sessions. And I know that's a little long, but every session goes over a certain area in research so that community people can ask questions. And once they've completed the entire program, they get a certificate of completion from Weill Cornell Medicine Clinical Translational Science Center, and they are invited to become a member of the Community Advisory Board. And they are also invited, if they are interested, to become involved in any of the departments or cores at the CTSC. For example, we have an ethics committee that constantly discusses ethics, that constantly reviews research applications that are submitted to the CTSC, and they look at it and determine if what the investigators are saying in terms of ethics, is this acceptable or is it not acceptable? So within the CTSC, we have various departments, and that is what the community is asked to do. My passion is that I want community people to be involved. And the reason that I'm here tonight is to let you know, and the community, your community know, what we're doing. So perhaps when we start this program again, or if someone wants to do the online program in and of itself, because you could still do the online sessions and you can still get credit and you'll still get a certificate and you could still become involved if you'd like, or if anyone in the community would like. I think it's important and it's paramount. In addition, we have another program, which is called the Naloxone Community Educator Program, in which we try to get churches involved, churches, synagogues, temples. We try to get them involved because a lot of them already have programs in which they may support the homeless community. They may provide food, clothing, or shelter for people who are users, opioid users in one way or another. And so we give them naloxone kits and we provide them with the tools so that they can go out and educate people in the community. One of the things that I've found is that when you do give them naloxone kits, which is a medication, Narcan, which is a medication that if someone has overdosed, it will bring them back to life. And it's really working very, very well. But the stigma associated with opioid overdoses and opioid uses is something that we need to talk about. And I also have a program where I can, via Zoom, I will have a psychiatrist speak about opioid addiction behaviors. Then we have, we are associated with a detox center, Odyssey House in Manhattan. And if someone wants to go in for detox, we connect you with connections that'll open the door right away. Because sometimes when people say they want to get off of drugs or they want to change their lifestyle, it's so hard and there's so much paperwork to go through to get accepted. So we've gone through that. The other thing, that's the same one again. The other thing that we offer to the community is we do health screenings and we call it the heart to heart. And normally we check people for their diabetes, their cholesterol, and their high blood pressure. We have a nutritionist that comes out. We also have an eye team that will evaluate people, and they even do screening for glaucoma. So we have quite a few things going on, and we would like to invite your community, Community Board 9. We'd like to invite every one of you to participate or to help us get the information out. The other thing that we have that I did not download, oh yes, one more, no. We have another program, I didn't download it. Oh yes, here it is. And what this is called is our Civic program, Community Interactive Video Conferencing. What we do is weekly, we try to get a well-known and recognized expert, it could be healthcare provider, to talk about an issue or health concern that people in the community would be interested in, especially our senior population. So for example, we had this doctor do a talk on optimizing brain health for healthy aging, and it went very, very well. So, and this is one way of people finding out more about what we're doing in terms of clinical trials. A lot of the talks may be about clinical trials. Sometimes they are, sometimes they are not. They are just about health interests that people would have, like you and I in the community. So I thank you all very much. If you have questions, let me know. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I truly appreciate it. And if there's any way I can help get information out to the community and educate the community, because one of the things that I feel is very, very hard is that the community needs health literacy. That's something that we are in great need of. And I see someone's hand. Okay. All right. Do you want me to?
Sure. Well, it's okay. Well, if you're finished, we'll create
Yes,
quick
I'm
speakers.
finished.
We'll take a
I'm
couple of
finished.
questions. Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
All right.
I'm finished.
We can entertain. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Phillips. We can
You're
take
welcome.
a couple of brief questions. Ms. Pinkerton, I do see you. Is there anyone else who has a question for Dr. Phillips? Don't think I see any other hands. Okay, so we'll take the question from board member. Oh, hold on, that was too quick. All right, we will take two questions, one from Amy Pinkerton and one from Nicholas Almanor, and then we're going to move on in the agenda. Ms. Pinkerton, yes, you can ask Dr. Phillips your question.
Right, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh,
Hi.
thank you, Doctor. Great, great and concise presentation. Two quick questions for you. One is, I may have missed it, but did the churches that if we asked them to become involved, do they need to take that course that would give them the certificate, the 13 classes that you give, or are can they just sign up?
They can go to YouTube, and if let's say if you had a church that was interested, then they can email me and I'd get my assistant to help walk them through the steps for the class, and they can take it anytime they want because it's
so
now
they
on
do have to
YouTube.
complete the class. That was my question.
No, they don't have to complete it, but it would be nice.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you my long-term goal, and I'm going to talk real fast because I know your time is important. My long-term goal is to get this information out to everyone in the community, young and old, because research is everything. When you think about research is hair color, hair dye, deodorant, that's all research. Food, what do you add with this? Can you eat? That's all research. It's just another way of, we have different terms to reflect that, but it's all research.
And a quick follow-up, I just wanted to know, I saw on this slide that you have that it was, you had, the health screening, you had it at the Grace Church. It was at Fulton Street. Yes. I was wondering, do you have any other outposts or I guess, meeting places in our community board area?
Well, right, this is one of the reasons I'm trying to expand. This on February the 22nd, we're supposed to be doing a heart-to-heart or a health fair on Fulton Street at Pleasant Grove Baptist Church. One of the things, again, we are being funded by the National Institute of Health, so it's federal dollars. So we have to write we have to write a grant in order to get the money. We're coming up for recertification and monies. So we're not sure how many health fairs we're going to be doing next year, but if you are interested or if you have a church that's interested, let me know.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And my contact number is on the, Mr. Baptiste has it. Okay.
Absolutely, and which means the district office has it, which means anyone who's interested in speaking with Dr. Phillips, we'll be able to pass that information as well. Mr. Almanor, Mr. Almanor, we're going to recognize you. I also see board member Ms. Evelyn Williams also has a question, and we're going to close on Ms. Williams because I had missed her from before. Mr. Almanor, your question is?
Yes, my question has been answered. I'm going to ask, how can we replicate all this program within the CB9 community and all the churches there? But the question has been answered. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Almanor. Can you promote Ms. Williams?
I just have a quick question. Just a quick question.
Yes.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, absolutely. The floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to ask the lady for her phone number. I came in, I was to leave for a little bit, so I don't know if she gave her phone number. So I'm trying to get her phone number. That's it.
Okay. I think you have, Mr. Baptiste has my phone number, but what I can do is I will share it. You want me to type it in? I'll give you my cell number.
Dr. Phillips, if you could share your contact information with me, I've been corresponding with Jesse. I can share it with all of the board members. The board members have actually already received all of these flyers. So I can just package it. Yeah, I can package it all in one with your contact information and we can go from there.
Oh, okay. All right. That's great. So whom am I speaking with? I'm so sorry, because
No
wait, I'm
problem.
gonna stop sharing.
No, it's no problem. My name is Dante Arnwan. I'm the district manager at
Oh,
CB.
okay, all right. So I will send it to you right now, Dante.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And I thank all of you for taking the time from your busy schedule to hear me tonight. Thank you so
Well,
very
actually,
much.
Dr. Phillips, before I totally let you go, actually, I do see one last question from a member of the community. I would definitely, would you have a minute to entertain that as well?
Yes, go right ahead.
Okay. Dante, could you promote Teresa Westerdahl? I think she has her hand up for a question.
Should be coming in. It's not moving over to the panelist. If Ms. Westerdahl wants to email the board office, we can do that to have our question addressed.
All right, my apologies. Oh, hold on.
Oh, good.
Ms. Westerdahl.
All right, good.
Turn that off first.
Okay, Ms. Westerdahl, you have a question for Dr. Phillips? Yes, hello, Ms. Westerdahl.
Hi.
Yes, we can hear you, Ms. Westerdahl. You have a question for Dr. Phillips?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Ms. Westerdahl, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I just want you to know that when I'm trying to watch this community board meeting, I didn't see anybody until you left.
Okay, Ms. Westerdahl, do you have a question for Dr. Phillips, the presenter?
Was a flyer and random voice for a meeting. I think you're disengaging the community and that we need to be able to see who we're talking to, who's talking, and what's happening and who's in the
Ms.
meeting.
Westerdahl, do you have a question for the presenter?
Is this on purpose or an accident?
Okay, Ms. Westerdahl, thank you very much. Right now, that was the last question we're entertaining for the presenter. If you have a public comment, you may do that at the appropriate time. We'll allow you to speak at that time. Okay, so Dr. Phillips, I just want to thank you so much for joining us this evening. Absolutely, any information you would like for us to spread, please just provide that to the district office team. We're looking forward to working with Cornell Wow in terms of helping spread this word to the community, this information.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate everyone's time. And again, I apologize. My camera was broke. So thank you. Be blessed. Good night.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We are now going to move on in the agenda. We are going to go to public commentary. Public commentary is for 30 minutes. Speakers are given a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. Dante, at this time, is there anyone who signed up for public commentary?
The only person that signed up was Alicia Boyd. Then I also just see Portia from Senator Myrie's office also has her hand raised.
Oh, okay. All right, I guess we'll find out. So please promote Ms. Boyd. So I see Ms. Boyd for public commentary. Portia, we'll see if she has something for public commentary, or if not, she'll be acknowledged during the acknowledgments portion of the agenda. For any members of the public who wish to address the board this time for public commentary, please use the raise hand function. So if you're online, you can use the raise hand function on Zoom, or you can use *9. That will raise your hand, and the district office team will be looking to see who hands are raised to be able to promote them for their 3 minutes. Okay, is Ms. Boyd there? Okay, Ms. Boyd, I see you. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can. Hold on one second. All right, so Mia, are you keeping time? Is one of the district office team keeping time?
I can keep time.
Thank you very much. Okay, all right, Ms. Boyd, you have the floor.
The former controller just audited the community boards regarding the open meetings law, which is a body of law from the state that all community boards must adhere to. As the law implies, this is about having meetings open to the public, give proper notification, allowing for transparency and accountability to government entities. The controller audits community boards to help them understand the law, give them feedback on how they can improve, and request that community boards make adjustments to their procedures and protocols to become compliant with the law. Well-functioning community boards normally take the advice of the controller's audit and make commitments to change their behavior. They put these changes in writing to the controller and also share it with their board members and public. This is normally spearheaded by the district manager. The district manager is supposed to share the auditing results with his board members and the community board and the community and have a plan on how to become compliant with areas that need corrected. Unfortunately, that is not what has transpired with our community board and district manager Dante. Not only has Mr. Dante not given the community board this audit, but when he was told about CB9's failures and things that they could correct, he simply ignored the audit and failed to make any promises or make any correction on how he is running the district office. So what is wrong according to the controller's audit? CB9 has failed to maintain proper records, list their meeting minutes, hold public hearings, notify the public of all their meetings, etc. In fact, the way in which this online meeting is currently being done is a violation of the open meetings law. Right now, at this very moment, despite continuous complaints by the public, only board members can see me. The general public cannot see me, and I cannot see anyone because I'm not a board member. In fact, the community is completely ignored and blacked out from this meeting process. For example, all elected officials are supposed to attend community board meetings. This allows the public to engage with their elected officials. However, we, the public, can't see who's at the meeting. We have no way of approaching an elected about our concerns. In fact, an example of that was just displayed in which Darlene Mealy's representative said, chat me during private chats if you have a concern. This is how community boards used to run. I used to be able to go to an elected official privately during a meeting and say, hey, I got this concern, how can you help me? Then it was transferred into the Zoom where you could do a private chat. Now you can't do any private chats. There's no chatting in this format. So I, as a resident, cannot go to my elected official and say, hey, I got a problem with this, can you help me? The only thing we get is a telephone number and a name, as if I can't Google that. I don't need a name and a telephone number. I need to be able to speak to my elected official and representative and say, hey, this is my concern. What are you going to do about it? And
Ms.
hold my
Boyd,
elected
that's
officials
fine.
accountable. But I can't do that because you are violating the open meetings law by having this format that just completely ignores us as a community.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd. Okay, at this time, are there any other members of the public who wish to speak during public commentary? Okay, seeing none. I want to thank you for your comments. Your comments are duly noted. I believe that there will be some of those items which will be discussed as part of the district manager's report and the chairman's report as well. Okay, at this time, we are going to now move on in the agenda. Seeing no other public commentary, we're going to move on to the agenda to acknowledgements. I want to thank all those representatives of, for our elected officials who were here before. At this time, we would like to recognize you and give you an opportunity to address the board. I would ask in the interest of time to please make your introductions relatively short, to introduce yourselves. And if you would like, you can also provide contact information in terms of how the community and board members can reach you as well. And also give a brief summary of any upcoming events that you had as well. Dante, who do we currently have? And I would, at this time, I would ask if you are an elected official or a representative, please raise your hand just so that way we can make sure we are able to recognize you and find you in the chat. Again, to raise your hand, *9 or the raise hand function in Zoom.
All right. Are you going to start a list?
Yes, actually, Dante, you can call them out.
Okay.
Even better than I can.
Oh, perfect. All right. The first person on the list is our Borough President, Antonio Reynoso. Mr. Borough President, you have the floor.
Thank you, Dante. I appreciate being called on and being here. I want to say hi to Chair Baptiste. I saw you there, but you're off the screen now. But hope you're doing well. And to the entire community board, extremely excited to be here. I can't tell you how happy I am and how excited I am to be your Borough President. The last 3 weeks have been absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to rep Brooklyn and make you all proud. I have I have high expectations for community boards, and we're going to be calling on community boards to really set forth, the foundation for how we should be doing planning in this city, and make sure that we empower community boards to do more, and that they are allowed to self-determination when it comes to the outcomes of their communities. And with that comes more resources. So I'm really looking forward to providing resources to the community board. We have planners on deck that we're going to make sure we get to community boards when they have land use projects, so they can assist them technically, so that we can make arguments on why or not we should support any type of changes in the community, not only development wise. I want to talk about education. I want to talk about transportation and so forth. I also want to do professional development and education. I told myself when I was a council member that I wanted to continue to grow and become a better council member every single day. And I was still learning how to be a council member even on my last day. And I want everyone else to to know that I'm not trying to slight anyone by saying education and professional development, that it's just an opportunity to learn more and be able to use those resources and those skills that you might learn from these classes to affect change in a meaningful way in your community. So I'm really looking forward to doing that work when it comes to transportation, land use, education, and so forth. The last thing I'll say is it's been a tough 3 weeks for the city of New York. I mean, we're all feeling the pain, and I want to do everything I can to keep Brooklyn safe, to make folks feel that Brooklyn is moving forward in a positive direction. And I believe that working alongside the community boards is how we're going to make that happen. So I want to thank you all for your volunteerism. And you guys are the first step to public engagement, and I can't tell you how grateful I am that you're out here doing this at least once a month, and then with the committees and so forth. That's all I really have, Chair. I want to allow for everyone else. I know it's a long night, everyone else to speak, and don't forget to spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.
Borough President Reynoso, I want to thank you so much for joining us this evening for our first community board meeting of 2022. And we want you to know that we're here. It's a fantastic board. It's a fantastic district. We're here to work, and we're here to make Brooklyn go to even new, greater heights. And we're here. Expect you to come back anytime.
I'll be here. You're going to get tired of me. That's my goal.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Reynoso. Okay.
Chair Baptiste. Chair
Yes.
Baptiste, this is Naomi Baptiste. I had a question for the Borough President. I have my hand up. I don't know if you can see me. May I ask him a question?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure if he's still here, and we do have we still have a number of things to cover on the agenda. But if you have any questions for the Borough President, absolutely, we can make sure that we can communicate that to Borough Hall. We'll make sure we invite him back for a Q&A session as well. Okay, so my apologies. I'm not even sure if he's still there. I'm not sure. I think you're frozen. But we'll see. But if anything, we'll try and see if we can get your question addressed at some point.
No, because the only reason I'm saying is because the website is not up yet. So I just wanted to be aware of that because people want to do things.
I think this meeting was more to be introductory. He's also got a busy schedule. So we're one of several boards he's seeing this evening. That's part of the reason why it's difficult as well. But we're going to make sure that we get another opportunity to speak with him and communicate what the issues are, the questions that you have. Absolutely. All right, Dante, who else do we have with us this evening?
All right, we have Eli Slavin, Representative Clark's office.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ali Slavin, Eli Slavin.
I'm so sorry.
I get around with two names. We get two birthdays, a Hebrew and an English, and I get two names. So I'm community liaison for Congresswoman Yvette Clark. We are working, but remotely because of the COVID. We are answering all phones, all emails. We handle federal issues. Our number is 718-287-1142. We're at 222 Lenox Road between Rogers and Nostrand. My email is eli.slavin@mail.house.gov. Our phones are being answered. Our emails are being answered. However, there's a lot happening in DC. The Congresswoman is involved in many things as far as her committees, which she chairs. So I'm not going to hold you more than I need to, but I put into the Q&A, clark.house.gov. We have a wealth of information. So please take your time, see what we have. Any questions, you can direct either to me or to the director of the website. And again, thank you everybody for having me.
Thank you again, Mrs. Slavin, for joining us this evening. Please give our best regards to the Congresswoman.
Thank you. And she sends her best to you.
Thank
All right,
you.
Dante?
Yes, next, Portia from Senator Myrie's office. You're still muted, Portia. Okay, you're good.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It's great to be here. Just bringing notes from the senator. He's currently in a public right now, so he could not make this CB9 meeting. The hearing has been going for 10 hours now, so I'm sure he's super tired, but as a representative for CB9, I'm here to give updates. Our office is open, has been open since the pandemic hit, but we are working virtually, just like most other offices. Most of our cases are coming through a phone or email. You can always email us with any questions or concerns at myrie@nysenate.gov. That's MYRIE @nysenate.gov. Or you can always call our office at 718-284-4700. I just wanted to share with you guys some of our legislative priorities this year. And just some, not all, because there's many priorities that we have for this legislative session, but some of our legislative priorities for this year is PMPA, which is is a predatory marketing prevention act that we are introducing. It's to protect children from unhealthy food companies targeting them with false or misleading advertisements. So, you know, when you go into the store, you see like a apple juice commercial or like a soda commercial with a famous Disney character on it. And they usually are using those ads to promote to our younger children. So we're working on that bill. The Chisholm Chance Act is something that we're working on, is to establish a plan to address the severe maternal morbidity crisis in parts of the state. And we're also working on NYVRA. It is through our criminal justice initiatives that we're working with. So if you guys have any questions on what's going on with the office, please just give us a call or you can email us and we're very responsive. So reach out to me. My name is Portia. Again, I'm the district director and the lead for Community Board 9 in the district.
Portia, thank you so much for joining us this evening, for all the work you've done with us over the years. And please give our best regards to the senator.
Oh, sorry. We're doing I believe CM Hudson's office mentioned this earlier, but we're partnering with our elected officials within the district, city council members, CM Hudson being one of the first, to do a building walkthrough, a large building walkthrough in our district. We will be starting the first a couple of buildings we'll be doing with CM Hudson's office in the next couple of weeks. So keep your ears to the pavement for all of that information. Also, if you know of any buildings within the district that are having extreme issues, please feel free to reach out to our office or the other elected officials' office. Please feel free to reach out. We want to make sure that we are doing the work to make sure that we get our landlords on board and making sure that we can clear the list of violations that go through HPD on a daily basis.
And thank you so much for that information. If it's possible, would you be also able to share that information with our district office as well?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Portia. Next up, we have Karen Crawford, DA's office.
Good night, everyone. I'm sorry, I couldn't unmute myself. I bring you greetings from the District Attorney's office. I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. I want to welcome the new electives, and also that I'm looking forward to partnershiping and working with every one of you guys. If you have any issues or concerns, you can call me directly. My phone number is 718-250-4877, and the office is 100% open, so we are there 350 J Street. So if, as I said before, any issues or concerns, call me, and I'm here to help. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Crawford.
Thank you for that. Next, we have a district leader, Sarana Purcell.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hi,
I'm
Sarana.
glad to greet you here in my new capacity as district leader. I know you guys
Muted. Oh, you muted your Sarana. You muted. Okay.
on my phone. Gotta get in the call. So today I'm here to greet you as district leader of the 43rd Assembly District. I just want you guys to know that I'm here, and you're free to reach out to me at sarana@bkdistrictleader.com. I will be hosting a fireside chat this Sunday, 7 p.m. If you'd like to RSVP, I'll drop the link where you could reach me. Just to let you guys know, I took over for Shirley Patterson, me and my co-leader, Du Hermelin, we work very closely together. We look forward to partnering with all of our fellow elected officials. We welcome them aboard in regards to new elected officials, new staff, any new board members, old board members. We really look forward to just being a partner and being here, being able to serve. I just wanted to make a couple of community engagement notes. In our capacity as district leaders, one of our items is just appointing or working with judges. So we'll be having a number of Meet the Judges Forum because we want to make sure that we bring the judges to the community to be able to answer and address the questions that impact our quality of life. Also, there's a survey that maybe spoke on, it's called NYC Speak. I do encourage everyone to participate and fill out that survey. That survey allows you to get your opinions on issues to the mayor's office. So it's only two more days left, which is the 28th. So if you have time, I'll drop in the chat, but NYC Speak. If you have any issues, concerns, or areas that are important to you to better the community, make sure you go out and fill that link, and that'll be translated and get to the administration. Other than that, that's it. I'm here, happy to serve in this new capacity, any capacity, and feel free to reach out. And I'm glad to see some of you familiar faces.
Sarana, it's a pleasure to see you in your new capacity as well, and we're looking forward to working with you.
All right, thank you, Sarana. Next up, we have Alicia Goodridge in her new capacity. Thank you.
Thank you for that intro, Dante. District Manager. This is so weird. Good evening, CB9, friends, family, because some of you are actually family to me. Fred Baptiste Chair, good to see you. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Yes, I'm in my new capacity as the government and community relations person for SUNY Downstate. So if you knew Jelani, I'm the new Jelani, but taller. That's the running joke in the hospital. Anyway, don't tell him I said that. I love him anyway. But I wanted to just bring greetings from Dr. Riley and all the leads over at SUNY Downstate, the hospital and the school. And we are coming off the cusp of the Omicron wave, the third wave. And I wanted to share that we are one of 20 locations and sites that the governor brought up last week that has been open to provide COVID testing to the community. So now we've set up a tent along in partnership with Quadrant Biosciences, and it's located at the corner of New York and Clarkson Avenue, 750 New York Avenue, and it's really the parking lot of the University Police building, which is formerly Dwayne Reed, if anyone needs some type of landmark. So that's Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4 p.m. They are asking for prior for people to log in, register. This is a saliva-based COVID test. And everything is really derived offline. They also are allowing for walk-ins because the grandmothers and aunties, they are not registering before. They just want to get their test. And I know the seniors, so I'm working with them to really help with them being able to get there. They just want to answer. They want to know if they are okay. And that's our biggest concern. So we're working on that. There will be an email sent out to all of the boards, and it'll have a SKU for the more tech savvy people that they can just go in, scan it, information comes up, they log in. Once they get their test, the test results then come up, and they will get it within 2 to 3 business days. So that is one of the big things that we're doing now. And then we are going through a new rebranding. And early December, when I just joined the hospital, they did a whole branding campaign. So you'll see a lot of things different, and we'll be coming back to you more. I look forward to working with the health committee and everyone in any capacity, whatever we can do. SUNY Downstate is here to assist. Health is paramount to us, of course. And just as you may have been aware, in 2020, we were a COVID-only hospital. So now we are trying to recoup from that and be able to serve the community in our fullest capacity. So just listen out for information. I'll be bringing back and being sure to email the team so the community has it. And I'm available at 718-270-3866. Great to see everyone. Hi, Francesca. I'll be in touch. The health committee, we got to do some work. Thank you for the time. And I'm glad to see everyone. Take care.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Great to see you again, and good luck in your new capacity.
All right, next we have David Louie from the Mayor's Office, Community Affairs.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, District Manager Dante, and Chair greetings, and to all the members of CB9 and the general public. My name is David Lewis. I'm Deputy Commissioner over at the Mayor's Office Community Affairs Unit. I send greetings over to you. I just wanted to quickly go over just an update. Yesterday, the mayor released the blueprint to end gun violence, and it's a robust, multi-pronged plan to reduce gun violence beginning immediately. And some highlights of that plan includes providing more officers in the streets, as well as providing the youth more job opportunities to ensure that they're being kept busy and they have opportunities to pursue desires that they have, as well as making sure that there is a anti-gun liaison at every city agency across the city. I am happy to go and meet with CB9 and just provide updates. I know that we're going to be meeting soon anyway, but I'm hoping that I'll get to meet everyone from the general public in person, hopefully one day. If you have any questions, you can please send me an email at D as in David, LOUIS, the number 2, at cityhall.nyc.gov. And my number is 646-385-0293. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.
So Lewis, thank you so much for joining us this evening. You're always welcome to come back here as well. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Thank you. Looking forward to working with you as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And last but not least, we have Edu Hermelin, district leader. You have the floor.
Good evening, members of Committee Board 9. Good evening, Chairperson Baptiste. It's good to see everyone. Happy New Year. It's always great to see all of you, and I'm wishing you all the best, happy and safe New Year. Just to add on to what my co-district leader, Savannah Purcell, said, She will be having her fireside chat this Sunday, which I will also be attend to be available to the community at large. So it'll be the first of many fireside chats that we'll be having throughout this year. And I'm looking forward to all of you participating, asking questions. For those of you who don't know, we've been having a number of pop-up events throughout the district. We had a number of pop-up food distributions, pop-up PPE distribution, and we're just looking forward to continuing to do that as well. And we're looking out to make sure that we're reaching out and addressing the concerns of the community. One of the main roles as district leaders to make sure that we provide information in regards to the democratic process, the Democratic Party, but also to introduce you to potential judicial candidates. As you know, criminal justice and criminal reform is a very big issue throughout our community. And we just want to make sure that we give the community the opportunity to meet some of these judicial candidates so that you can make a wise choice for the June primary. So I just want to say hello to everybody. I wish, again, everybody a happy new year. And I look forward to working with Community Board 9 and the community at large. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Leader Hermelin. Always a pleasure seeing you. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Okay, Dante, are there any more elected officials or representatives?
I do not see any. No.
Okay, not sure I see anyone else either. Okay, but in that, well, with that being said, I do want to thank all the elected officials and all the representatives who have come. This is part of the team that helps us do what we need to do for the district and for the borough. I thank you for coming. I thank you for your partnership, and we're looking forward to continuing to work with you. There's a lot that has to be done. But when we have talent and commitment like this, I believe that we'll be able to achieve so much in the next few months as we convene. Okay, and with that, that concludes our public session. We are now going to go into the business session. Item A on the business session is the roll call. I would ask our assistant manager, Mia, do you have a copy of the roll there with you?
No, it's been provided to Mrs. Watson-Lord.
Very well then. Madam Secretary, you have the floor. Could you please call the roll?
Kyrie Ali. Kyrie Ali. I thought I saw him. Nicholas Almanar.
Present.
Stuart Balberg. Stuart Balberg. Craig Baptiste.
Present.
Naomi Baptiste. Here. John Beckles. John Beckles.
Good evening.
Thank you. Rabbi Jacob Berman. Rabbi Berman. Maureen Burt.
Here.
Augustine Blackwell.
Present.
Suki Sham.
Present.
Verlene Dozier. Verlene Dozier. Rosemary Everling.
Excused.
Evering. Excuse.
Yes, please note as excused.
Thank you. Thank you. Tessa Hackett-Brewer.
I'm here.
Thank you. Bishop Savetta Hamilton Gonzalez.
I'm here.
Thank you. Lerman Heck.
Good evening. My apologies, but Kyrie Aline, I'm here too. My mute wasn't working. Then my
Thank you,
computer
Kyrie.
froze for me. Thank you.
Sloman Heck. Primo Lozana.
Yes, present.
Thank you. Mayor Lagute.
Minor, present.
Francisco Leopold.
Present.
Melanie Lewis. Michael Lieberg.
Here. Oh, I'm sorry. For Melanie Lewis, please note her as excused.
Thank you.
Matthias Lemberg,
Present.
Christian Lubo,
Present.
Manake Margolin,
Present. I think Shlomo Zalman Hecht is also online with the phone. I think he's just having trouble unmuting himself.
So is Berman.
Oh, sorry.
Robert Berman is on.
Menachem Margolin.
Berman, your
Berman
vote was
is on.
your presence was not recorded either, but I'm present.
Well, if you're here, I'm here.
Okay, slow. Mr. Heck. Carmen Martinez.
Here.
Vivian Morgan.
Happy New Year, all. Thank you. I'm here.
Thank you. Patricia Moses.
Here.
Beverly Newsom.
Here.
Yankee Pearson.
Present.
Ralph Persbone.
Here.
Amy Pinkerton.
Here.
Yolanda Rome Perry.
Present.
Dexter Roberts. Dexter Roberts. Felice Robertson.
Present.
Mary Rollison Blackett. Melissa Severe.
Present.
Rashida Sadiq.
Here.
Shanna Sperling.
Here.
Rashida Skites. Rashida Skites. Okay. Debbie Timothy.
Present.
Neda Watson Lord, present. Evelyn Williams.
Evelyn Williams here.
Okay, Evelyn Williams. Lorraine Woolsey.
Hi, good evening. It's Lorianne Woolsey.
Lorianne Woolsey.
Or it's Lori for short, if that's
Okay,
easy.
thank you. And
You're
Cheryl Wright.
Here.
Thank you. Okay, let me just make one repeat of those that I have not. Mr. Stuart Balberg. Okay. Rabbi Berman.
Rabbi Berman is present. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Those Verlene Dozier. Okay, excellent. Dexter Roberts. And Mary Rollison Blackie. Last but not least, Rashida Skites. Okay. That's it, Mr. President.
Okay.
I'll give you the.
What is
number.
your count?
Yeah, I'll give you the. Mr. President, 36 present, 2 excuse, and 5 absent or no response.
Okay. 36 present. We have quorum. Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. At this time, we're going to go to item B, approval of the December 21 General Board meeting minutes. The minutes had already been distributed to the members of the board. At this time, are there any corrections to be made to the minutes? Okay, I'll call for a second time. Are there any corrections to be made to the minutes? Okay, seeing no corrections to the minutes, we'll see that as common consent. The minutes are approved. We are now going to go on to committee reports. For committee reports, reports should have been submitted to the board office and distributed. I would ask any chairs that have any announcements to make, please make sure that you're brief in the interest of time. Please keep your announcements or comments to about a minute or so, please. Are there any reports? But we do have two specific reports coming from Environmental Protection and the Nomination Committee, or on behalf of the Nomination Committee. Are there any committee chairs who wish to give a report at this time, a verbal report?
I do, Fred.
Okay. All right. We see the chair of Housing, Ms. Beverly Newsom.
I just wanted to announce Housing is creating we're going to be working on some activities moving forward in the next couple months. If there's a housing issue that you would like to see, please email the board office. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Newsom. And as we're in committee reports, it's only appropriate as well. I do want to make the announcement with respect to Beverly Newsom has assumed the chair of the Housing Committee. As well, I'm also happy to announce that Ms. Patricia Moses has also accepted, and she is now serving as the chair of Land Use ULURP. So they've taken these are definitely veterans of the board, veterans of their respective committees, and I thank them for their service and their leadership.
Was there a housing meeting this past month?
There was a housing meeting past month, correct.
I didn't see any minutes attached.
No, I haven't submitted them yet. That's my fault. I will be doing that.
Also, Chair Almanor has his hand raised as well.
Oh, Mr. Almanor, yes. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'd just like to say that we invite everyone to check our minutes on the website, and we are working and putting together plans for the coming year, and we'll invite people to stop by our meeting as much whenever they can and participate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Almanor. All right, so we have two items for committee reports. So first we'll call the chair for Environmental Protection Committee. There were a number of recommendations that were passed by that committee that need to be considered by the board for adoption. Is the chair of Environmental Protection here? I see you, Mr. Lebeau. You have the floor. Would you please introduce the recommendations to the board?
Sure. Thanks very much, Fred. And thanks everybody for joining. I'm particularly happy to see Councilmember Hudson and also the representative from Councilmember Joseph's office, because the first recommendation pertains to a letter we would write to their office. So in our last meeting with Environmental Protection Committee, we passed a motion that has two different recommendations. One of them is a letter to elected officials to help us deal with one of the challenges in our district, which is inconsistent trash pickup and overflowing trash buckets, waste buckets, and also some of the rodents that are coming up in our district because of a lot of construction. So the committee is very concerned about these sanitation issues, and we're also concerned with the impact of climate change on our district. We know that we're having an increase in extreme weather events. We had Hurricane Ida last summer, and we anticipate these extreme weather events to continue in the coming years. And so it's important that sanitation issues are addressed so that trash doesn't get caught up in catch basins, which leads to ponding around the catch basin and even at times flooding when we have a lot of rain. So as part of the recommendation, we drafted a letter to Councilmember Hudson and Councilmember Joseph that we would like to copy the Brooklyn Borough President on. And essentially this letter, which our district manager sent out before this meeting, this letter would call for a pilot of a modernized trash collection program, similar to the one that Councilmember Botcher is proposing in his district, which is District 3 in Manhattan. DOT DOT announced a similar pilot project recently that would install garbage corrals for commercial waste in business districts. And we're asking that this pilot be brought to our district and be expanded to residential areas as well. As part of the letter, we are also calling for enforcement of alternate street side parking so that DSNY can run their brooms, and the replacement of a number of old school wire, what I would call old school wire trash receptacles. So the letter would go out in the spirit of partnership that we can start to work together with our elected officials to help improve sanitation issues in our district. Separately, but relatedly, as part of this motion that we passed earlier this month, we also would like to replace 10, again, old school wire receptacle trash cans. We thought about equity when we were discussing which trash cans would be replaced and where we would also install more modern trash cans. So we thought about the district as a whole, and we thought both about north of Empire Boulevard and south of Empire Boulevard. So we came up with 10 high traffic areas. 5 of them are north of Empire Boulevard. 5 of them are south of Empire Boulevard. And together we would like to replace these trash receptacles with more modern cans. And we estimate that that cost would be just under $9,000. So in summary, the recommendation that the Environmental Protection Committee has is twofold. It is one, to send a letter to our council members and copying the Brooklyn Borough President to call for the piloting of a modernized sanitation pickup in our district, as well as more consistent trash pickup and enforcement of alternate street side parking rules. And secondly, the recommendation would replace 10 old school wire trash receptacles in high traffic areas. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair LeBeau. So as you have 2 action items,
Can I ask a question?
Well, before you ask the question, let's put the motion on the floor, and then we can ask questions with respect to the motion.
This is Stuart Dahlberg. I'm present and have been present during the first roll call, but I was not unmuted by you. So anyway, I'm present.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barber. So, Mr. President, correction to my attendance. There's no 37 in attendance.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Okay, so Christian, as chair of the committee, I would ask that you put forward the motion to adopt the recommendations of your committee. For the record.
We put forward this motion for adoption by the committee, by CB9.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
So moved.
Second.
I have a second. All right, I have a second. Well, it was moved. Christian LeBeau is moving it. I have a second by Mr. Almanor. Warren, I'll get you next time. Okay, with that, questions. We will have entertain questions. Hold on one second. We're going to create a speakers list. All right, I see Member Chung. Hold on one second. Let me complete the list first. I see Ms. Moses. Hold on one second.
Yakov. We also have
Hold on.
Fran.
Okay.
Ms. Pinkerton.
Okay.
Ms. Newsom.
Okay.
And that's all the hands raised as of right now from the board.
Okay. Is there anyone else who has a question? Because we're going to close. Ms. Newsom was the last name I heard. We're going to close on Ms. Newsom, and that will end the question. See Ms. Roan Perry.
Yep.
All right. We're going to close on Ms. Roan Perry. There will be no other questions after that. Okay, Suki, you have the floor.
Hi, yes. I'd like to clarify for your trash proposal what exactly that means that you would have street corrals for the garbage. Are you talking about containers on the sidewalk? Are you talking about containers in the parking lanes? I've seen some areas where garbage bags are placed inside the parking lanes fenced off by like metal barriers. Is that what you mean by street corral? What does that look like? What does that mean? And like, would you be proposing this for all buildings, for commercial waste only? What's the proposal?
Sure. On the second, thank you for your question. On the second component of your question, it would be a pilot for commercial and residential areas. We would partner with DSNY and transportation and other stakeholders to see what would be the exact locations. For now, in the letter, we're hoping to start the conversation with our elected officials. And in terms of the other component of your question regarding the corrals, I've seen them be used both ways. I've seen them be placed on the sidewalk, but more often I've seen them be placed in the street. I've seen them placed in the street, yeah.
So that would mean that would replace parking. You would lose parking spots.
In those areas, there would be, they would go in an area where there was parking, yes.
Okay, so
Okay, Suki, we can't have, there are a number of
yeah,
other
but I'm
people
just
who have
like,
questions
do
as
you have an estimate? Like, if you're planning to extend this to commercial and to residential areas, do you have an estimate of how many parking spots might be lost if, let's say, all of the apartment buildings decided to take this up?
Well,
How
hold on,
much
before you
space
answer. I think the intent of this is to be a pilot, so this is not a permanent change. This would be a conversation with the council members and DSNY for a pilot to see if it's effective, to see real world what actually is going to happen and what the impact would be. Okay. All right. Okay, Ms. Moses?
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say my recommendation is that it goes back into the committee, and one being that it's a memo that's coming out, and it appears to me that it's bypassing the district office because they also meet, with different, district manager also meets with cabinet members. And second, they're talking in general. So what areas specifically are you talking about? So I think it needs to really be addressed a little bit more. And the second, and another thing I wanted to say is that in the past, when the board has to vote on something or a letter, that we kind of know exactly what it's all about. I mean, street by street or whatever is going on. So I just feel that it's kind of bypassed the district office.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ms. Moses. Next I have on the list, Rabbi Berman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, fellow committee members, community members. I briefly Googled the proposal of the council member, he said in the 3rd district. And I saw there includes language like restoring street cleaning to twice a week, removing de Blasio's changes. And I agree with Pat Moses that we need more information really to move forward. I also agree with Pat Moses that we do have a local sanitation office and a superintendent that are very attentive. And my question to the committee chair is, before you run to the council members with proposing solutions and to the problem, have you met with our local sanitation department and given them a courtesy, heard them out before we sort of go above their head? That's question number one. Have you met? And question number two is, I've been on the board since 2015. Dante, I know just oversaw replacing, I think it was 10 garbage cans in the district or something. If you want garbage cans replaced in the district, you have to put streets, address each problem, do a proper study where it's needed, and not just send a general letter that we want garbage cans. It has to be done right, thorough, do the research, and make a proposal, make an actual ask. If you don't make an ask, nothing's going to come out of it. So I guess my first question is, have you met with the local sanitation team? Have you corresponded with them? That's number one. Are you aware that part of this proposal would include restoring or adding additional street cleaning, which would affect members of the community. Are you aware of that? That's part of the proposal. And 3, do you have exact locations where you want these garbage cans? Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you, Rabbi Berman, for your question. And I want to just briefly touch on the commentary from Ms. Moses. So the district managers, at least one was in our meeting when we discussed this, and we discussed this as a group. So we've been partnering with the district managers and would like to continue partnering with the district managers on this. In regards to Rabbi Berman's question related to the placement of the garbage cans, yes, we members of the committee took time in the mornings, over the weekends, and after work to survey our district and identify 20 different high traffic areas that either don't have garbage cans or they have the old school wire receptacles that are overflowing. We wanted to manage our ask, and we're thinking about this really in terms of the beginning of a partnership. So we didn't want to put forth a proposal to replace 20 garbage cans. We narrowed it down then to the 10 most high traffic areas based off of our walking around the neighborhood and seeing where the needs were. And I want to clarify that as the 10 receptacles that would be replaced, that would be something that we as a community board would replace. That is not something that we're asking the council members to replace. Now, in terms of how have we engaged our partners in the city agencies, yes, we met with Department of Sanitation. That was the first meeting that we did as a committee. I met with Super Rice, and in fact, Super Rice asked for the return of alternate street side parking, and he said that this may not be. There may be some that are not interested in that, but that's something that he thought was important for the cleanliness and tidiness of our district. So this call for alternate street side parking enforcement of that is something that really comes from DSNY. But yes, we met.
I know, but your letter doesn't say.
Sorry, Rabbi.
Hold on.
So we met with the DSNY super once, and then we met with him a second time, this time with NYPD Community Liaison Affairs Officer, so we could put some of the city agencies in the room together and have us all talk collectively about the issue. And this was part of, this came out of that discussion, the need for alternate street side parking enforcement and the need for the DSNY street sweepers to be able to run their broom.
So just to clarify again, I'm sorry, you're asking to enforce, but you're also asking to restore street cleaning on additional days, correct?
That's a good question. The letter just asks for enforcement. We don't.
I know, but the council member's proposal is directly, at least the one that I read in the media, says to take away de Blasio, put it to 1 day, restore it to 2 days.
Yeah, the council member. So the council member's proposal, there are many components of his proposal. What we are asking for in terms of this council member from Manhattan is to pilot a more modernized sanitation pickup in terms of how we are storing our garbage and our trash in our neighborhoods. We're not asking for the resumption of 2 times a week alternate street side parking, although that is something that DSNY Superintendent Rice has asked for. We are just simply in our letter asking for the enforcement of existing street side parking regulations, which as of right now, the existing regulation is 1 time a week, no more 2 times a week.
Okay, thank you. Second Vice Chair Leopold.
I think my question was answered, but just to piggyback on your last statement, I think it's in certain districts, because in my area, the opposite parking at 2 days, Thursdays and Fridays. So it does not affect all the areas. So it's something that you have to look into again. So I'm not as certain as to which area that you did your work through, but not some of the areas are not the same. They don't carry the same days.
Okay, thank you. Member Pinkerton.
Hi, thank you. And Chairman, I just want to thank you for all the work that you did. You seem like an active committee, and it's really nice that you're putting forward things that you think are important. I just thought, and I concur with Pat Moses and Yakov Berman, that to vote on this, we seem kind of unprepared as a board. I would think that you as a committee would have made a presentation, a formal presentation, PowerPoint, whatever, to the board. I don't even know what a modern can looks like. And I know that the board, there was Yakov made reference to it, there was a replacement program of garbage cans with a different style, with a narrower top. I think it cost $26,000 that we spent on it. And unfortunately, I think it replaced cans as opposed to adding more cans. But it would be nice to know what the modern can looks like. I don't think that these enclosed cans with a smaller lid top with certain areas of our community manage garbage well, because people don't take the time to put the garbage in. They just put it on top or around. And then when they're emptied by sanitation, sometimes the doors don't close all the way. There's garbage left on the street around it. They're just, I don't know. But if you made a presentation and showed us what a corral looks like, what a modern garbage can looks like, the intersections that you were thinking about replacing, give us some sort of statistics about, the frequency, high frequency areas, et cetera, I think you would have sold your proposal more with the board. That's my point. But thank you for your work, and I look forward to hearing from you again.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's helpful commentary, and the trash receptacles that we're proposing to replace would be replaced with the same type of receptacles that CB9 used in the numerous areas last year. So I have a picture of it and I have the name of it. Maybe what I can do is I can send that to the district managers after this meeting so that it can be disseminated amongst the board and everybody can see what that more modern can would look like. And then I can also send the 10 locations. We have the exact locations and their corners in terms of where we would like to install these new trash cans.
Member Newsom.
Thank you. Christian, the garbage cans that you want to replace, can you, or did you guys discuss, instead of upgrading the old garbage cans, given that our budget looks the way it looks now as a result of COVID and the downside and the decreasing, can you add new garbage cans so we'll have more? And there'll be, because now people are walking blocks, and I've said this before, they're walking blocks without having a place to discard their garbage. So instead of upgrading for a fancier garbage can like the one that's on the corner of Crown and Bedford, just let's deal with the wire ones for now because of the budget, and add new ones in the places that you think needs to be more garbage cans. Did you guys discuss that?
We did, and that's a good question. Thank you for that. We did. So for a number of the high traffic areas north of Empire Boulevard, some of those are areas where there is no trash receptacle at all, and we propose installing a receptacle that's more modern than the old school wire receptacles. For the areas south of Empire Boulevard, those 5 locations are, they all have existing trash cans. They're areas that either because they're close to a large supermarket or they're outside a bodega or whatever the case may be, those trash cans are overflowing. So we did. North of Empire Boulevard, there would be a couple of areas where there are no trash cans where we would put in trash cans. South of Empire Boulevard, it's replacing.
So you don't think it would benefit those areas to have an additional trash can?
Sorry, Ms. Newsom, just one. finish my point.
Okay.
South of Empire Boulevard, it would be replacing these older trash cans, particularly along Flatbush, because of the commercial activity there. As an aside, I just want to mention as well that I applied for a grant on behalf of our committee to get some money from the Citizens Committee, which if we're fortunate enough to get that grant, then we would like to spend some of that on replacing trash cans, but that would be a separate thing from what we're proposing here, and we don't know if we're going to get that grant money. But sorry, please, as you were saying.
No, and good luck with that. But that only gives you what size budget compared to the cost per can? The Citizens Grant give you how much money? Let's just say you're lucky.
If we're lucky, I mean, it's practically negligible. I mean, we could change out a couple of garbage cans, not many, less than.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your question.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. And then we'll conclude this with member Yanela Rome-Perry. Yanela, you still there?
Yes, I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to find out the exact location because on my side of the district, we would welcome a few garbage cans on this side. So I don't know how far north of Empire you came, but we have, I think, maybe one wire receptacle on at least for 3 blocks or so. So, you know, if we could get the exact location at this end of the district, you know, where we are in need, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. I can share that right now. North of Empire Boulevard, it would be on the southeast corner of Union and Rogers, the northeast, I'll say it slowly so you can keep track. The southeast corner of Union and Rogers, the northeast corner of President and Rogers, the northeast corner of Bedford and Sullivan, close to the TD Bank, the southeast corner of Nostrand and Eastern Parkway, and the northeast corner of Franklin and Sullivan. These were the areas north of Empire Boulevard that the committee identified. Although, like I said, frankly, we identified many more areas than this, but we narrowed it down to just 5 north of Empire Boulevard and 5 south of Empire Boulevard.
And again, we get shafted on this end.
I'm sorry?
Again, we get nothing on this end.
Which end?
Never included.
That's Miss Blackwell, or yes. We are Utica between Maple and Maple Street, that side. Utica and Schenectady, in between at the back of Kingsbrook Jewish, right around that corner, and it's very busy. We have both commercial and we have residential, and we have nothing. So it would be nice if, you know, before some of the other, you get opinions of some of the other members on the outer districts, because we find that for the most part, we are left out.
Thanks for raising that. And that's something we've been talking about too within the committee, which is we really want to try to facilitate comprehensive participation from across the district, from all corners of our district. And so we would welcome your participation. We would welcome you joining our next meeting, which will be the second Tuesday of next month in February. And that way we can be more aware of some of the issues that exist on your block and in your immediate vicinity.
Thank you. Second Tuesday at what time?
At 7 o'clock.
See you then. Thank you.
Okay.
So may I raise an issue?
Thank you. I'm sorry, we already concluded the speakers list at this time, Mr. Bellberg. All right, but just in terms of, we've completed the speakers list. Just a couple of notes. One, for the chair, is there a time sensitivity to that? Do we need to vote on this tonight?
We don't need to vote on it tonight. I think if we didn't vote on it tonight, it'd be helpful to vote on it in the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. And I think that's fair because from listening to some of the commentary, it sounds like I haven't heard too many people like, no, this is terrible. I think that there's some information that people would, additional information members would like to have. I think there's some additional input with regards to some of the locations that people would like to have some more comfort around. And if we refine the proposal just slightly, I think it might be something where I think you'll find that more of the board will be amenable to approving this.
Would you
So with
take
that,
a
what I
motion
would,
to table?
Include the
Yes,
whole 43rd.
right, and you're hearing that. So there's some commentary with regards to making sure that we're including other portions of the district. So with that, I would like to entertain a motion to table the vote on this till next month. This will allow some additional input to come to the chair of environmental protection in the committee. We'll be able to get some more input and hopefully refine this and get the information out so people will have it a little bit more and they can chew on it a little bit more as well.
I'll
Motion
make
to
that
table.
motion.
Okay, so I have the motion. I'm sorry, who made the motion?
Blackwell.
I have the motion by Augustine Blackwell. Do I have a second?
Perry,
Second,
Ron
I hear a
Perry.
second by Unella, by Roan Perry. Thank you very much.
Thank
All right, all those in favor of the motion to table, please say aye.
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 Okay, for the record, are there any who wish to vote against the motion to table? Please state your name for the record. I hear none, so please record no votes against. Are there any abstentions? Please state your name for the record. And I hear no abstentions. Please record the vote as the motion to table is carried. Chair LeBeau, thank you very much to you and your committee for the work. We'll talk, and I guess at your committee meeting, there'll be additional options for input and just to revise the proposal and make sure we get that out to the board for next month. And we'll make sure it's on the agenda.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. And if I may just add, I really appreciate all the suggestions and the commentary this evening. The best way to make sure that your input and ideas are reflected in this proposal is to come to our next meeting on the second Tuesday of the month in February. It'll be at 7 o'clock. This is something that came up through our committee, and we can only have as strong of a proposal and as comprehensive a proposal as we have those folks who are engaging in the committee. So we welcome your participation and we look forward to it next month. Thank you.
Thank you. And just as a final note, just to kick the horse one more time, once again, I thank the committee for doing this. I do know that the district office has also been addressing this from various angles as well with regards to trash collection in terms of fielding those issues. And I just want to put before the board, those two are not necessarily mutually exclusive. We can do both, where we're engaging our elected officials as stakeholders and partners, and at the same time, we're treating them as service issues. When the complaints are coming in, the district office team and our district manager is making sure that he's engaging sanitation during his district service cabinet meetings. And it's good in terms of we're looking at problems from multiple angles. Again, I thank the committee, and we'll take this matter up again next month during the board meeting. Okay, at this time, we're going to go to the next item, which is for nominations. Actually, this is an item we're taking back up from the floor. Last month, we had tabled the nominations. As there was no one who had actually expressed interest in being a candidate. Do I have the chair of the nominations committee? Mine, are you here?
Hi, it's mine. I'm here.
How you doing, Maya? Okay, so as we had done it last week, at this time, if I could ask if we're going to reopen the nominations. So I would just ask, we're not going to repeat the information the information your board did, your committee did. At this time, we are just going to reopen the floor for nominations. And if you would please call for any nominations for anyone who wishes to run for the treasurer position. I'm sorry, for the executive secretary position.
Okay, so
Just off of here, off today, is anyone interested in running for the executive secretary position? And this is for the rest of the year, or we're saying?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. So anyone who's running for the position of executive secretary will be taking the unexpired term. That's for the rest of this year until we have our elections in June.
It's Warren Burke. I recommend Linda Ward Ratson for secretary.
I second that, Kyrie Aline.
Okay, we have a motion by Warren Burke. We have a second by Kyrie Aline. Ms. Watson-Lord, do you accept the nomination?
Thank you. Sure.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Watson-Lord accepts. Okay, Madam Chair, I give it back to you. You can call, see if there's any other nominations, and if none, you can call for a motion to close the floor for nominations.
Would anyone else like to be nominated for the position? Or does anyone have anyone else that they would like to nominate for the position of executive secretary? Going once? Twice? Are there any, anyone who would like to close the nomination? I'm sorry, not close.
To announce it 3 times. Are there any nomination? Are there any nomination? Are there any nomination?
Thank you, Nicholas.
Nomination closed.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
So first by Francisca and second by Warren?
Yes.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, we move to close the nominations, properly seconded. At this time, we will hold the vote. All members in favor of closing the nominations, please say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Are there any members opposed to the motion? Please say no. Please state your name for the record if you're voting no. I hear no no's. Are there any members at this time who wish to abstain from the vote on the motion to close the nominations? Please state your name for the record. Paul, if anyone wishes to abstain, please state your name for the record. Okay, I would ask the secretary to please note the motion carries.
Noted.
All in favor? No votes in the negative and no abstentions. Okay, so at this time, okay, so next month we are going to have elections to fill the vacant position of executive secretary. And we will actually discuss the mechanism for that vote shortly. When we get to the chairman's report, we will discuss that. As that will entail a bylaws amendment that we would need to pass first. Okay. Madam Chair, thank you very much. We will talk offline and we'll talk about any logistics for the elections for next month at the general board meeting.
Thank you.
All right, we are now going to go on to the district manager's report. Mr. Arwine, do you have any information you wish to pass to the board at this time?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, board members. For my report, it'll be relatively brief. I just want to remind everyone that the board office is open. We are seeing constituents, so please, if you know of anyone who needs assistance, you can direct them to the board office. I would recommend giving them the office phone number so we can schedule an appointment. But the office is open and we are seeing people by appointments only. Next, the district service cabinet will be meeting in February. We did not meet in January due to the new administration and the transition of agency liaisons. We did not meet in January. We have moved that. We will continue meeting in February. I have also reached out to the newly elected officials, to their offices, requesting a representative from their offices to serve on the district service cabinet, so we can remain apprised of the business that our elected officials are doing on our behalf. Next, for the committees, you all should have received a template of committee minutes. I want to encourage everyone who serves as a secretary on their committee, or if you guys are doing some hybrid role, if you are taking the minutes for your committee, please use the template that was provided. If you don't have the template, please reach out to the board office and we can get that to you. That template is there to hopefully make the job a little easier. And so please use that template as you record the minutes of your committee meetings. It was brought up earlier, but now I can get to it. I just want to note for the record, and I believe that the Comptroller's report came out on the 31st of December. So this is the first time that I've been able to meet with all of you to inform you of the report. So with that being stated, yes, the Comptroller did do an audit of the 18 Brooklyn community boards with their compliance with the city charter and the city administrative code requirements for public meetings and hearings and websites. We have read through that report. There were some things that were addressed. As we went through the report, there were things that were addressed. We provided that information to the Comptroller's office. After reading the report, and honestly, even before the report, we were kind of already in the process of fixing some of the issues that were presented in the report. With our new website that we're still working on, those issues will be corrected. And so, I looked at the report. I think that our board is doing a fine job of engaging the public, especially using our website. Yes, there were some problems with our website, and I have created I guess a summary of the bullet points specifically related to Brooklyn Community Board 9. I have no problem sharing that with the board members. We looked at the report. We're making the necessary changes to make sure that we're adhering to the city charter and to the city administrative code. But that report did come out on the 31st, and this was the first time that we have been able to meet as a board in its entirety. And so I am now informing you of the report. And so, yeah, that's that. Next, and this is relatively urgent. Our Zoom license expires the first week of February. And I know that I don't think that Dexter Roberts is on here. The treasurer was supposed to give a treasury report, but he's not on. I know exactly what that report is to be, so I will go ahead and inform the board. As I mentioned, the Zoom license does expire the first week of February. It looks like the cost to renew that license will be approximately $2,500. I'm bringing this to the board for authorization to renew that license, as this is considered a large expenditure. And I have communicated that with our treasurer, Dexter Roberts, and I'm bringing this to the board so to get authorization to renew our Zoom license. The Zoom license can only be purchased on an annual basis. So we can't do month to month. It has to be annually. So we have to pay it out for the whole year. And with that, that is the end of my report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. District Manager. This time we will entertain a couple of questions for the DM. I see Ms. Moses. Wait for me to complete the list. See Ms. Moses. We'll recognize you momentarily.
Ms.
I see
Pinkerton.
Ms. Pinkerton.
Mr. Liebert.
Okay.
That is it from the board members.
Okay, so I have Ms. Moses, Ms. Pinkerton, Mr. Liebert, and we are going to close up. No, I saw his hand go down. Oh, we'll see. Okay. And we will close on Mr. Liburd if he still wishes to, yep, his hand is back up. If he still wishes to ask a question. Last call. Any other questions for the DM? Please raise your hand. I'm not going to expand the list after this. Okay, we're done. All right, Ms. Moses, you have the floor.
Hello? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I just wanted to say that the board oversees the district office. And we don't even know what you're talking about. So I believe that a copy should be, of the audit report, should have been sent to the board members. And we would still like to see a copy, so we can know exactly what needs to be improved and what we are not in compliance with. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Moses. Member Pinkerton.
Yeah, hi, Jonte and Patricia. That was exactly my point. You received it maybe in the first week of January. Although maybe everything is not addressed, this is something that should be shared with the board, either for discussion or review. I mean, it's not, quote, that's it. We just need to see it. And I don't understand why it wouldn't have been a part of this meeting and brought up in the chairman's report. But that said, it should definitely be on the agenda, and it should be distributed to the board meetings before the next meeting.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Ms. Pinkerton. Mr. Liburd.
Good evening, everyone. Great report, Dante. Mr. Chair, do you want a motion to vote on the Zoom package?
Yes, we do need
So
that as
moved.
an action item, yes.
So moved.
Thank you very much. So we have a motion on the floor to approve the expenditure of $2,500 for the Zoom license, an annual license for Zoom. Moved by Member Liburd. Do I have a second? I'm sorry?
Second.
Second by Member Newsom.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Discussion. Anyone have any questions?
Only question
Ms.
is,
Pinkerton.
at this point, will it be in time for the next meeting or our committee meetings? That's my even important question. Will it be paid in time, given how slow the city is in doing things? Will we be able to have access in time for our next committee meetings?
Yeah, so yes, you should have access to your next committee meetings. Luckily, we have a hardworking district staff, and they have a good working relationship with the representatives at Zoom. So I firmly believe that we can get this to move quickly. We already, yeah. So I think the specific day is February 7th that it lapsed.
I hit the wrong kid that came to this. I'm trying to get back into the committee. Where is it?
Okay,
I'm sorry, if I can remind all the members, please keep your microphones muted if you're not speaking. Okay, thank you, Ms. Newsom. Are there any, hold on. Amy, do you have a question?
I have a question or
Okay,
comment.
hold on one second. So sure, Ms. Pinkerton, I will see you, and followed that by Ms. Leopold, and then I think we're gonna close on Ms. Leopold. Okay, Ms. Pinkerton, go ahead.
Question, comment. I know a year is a very long time. We seem like we may be in transition with the Omicron and the pandemic, probably by the summer, if not later. So I just want to have maybe a statement by the board that once I guess the governor or the city government decides that we are past pandemic measures, that we will resume in-person meetings and will not rely on Zoom to have meetings. Maybe it's an option to keep open, but I think it should be stated what the intentions are of the board to have in-person meetings going forward.
Well, at
Dante,
this
you
time,
did say that prescription is annual, right?
the subscription is annual, that's correct. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Dante, sorry.
thank you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we shouldn't approve it, because obviously we need to have it now. But the fact that it would be in place in August, September, October, and the need for it may not be as strong as now. I just want to know if the board is ready to state that once our government
Annual
decides that we
yearly,
can
right?
have in-person meetings, we have in-person meetings.
Well, to that point, the way open meetings law is written at this time, it's not an option. If we are allowed to go back to in-person meetings, unless there's a change in the OML, that's not a conversation. We would be going back to it. But at least for the duration of the emergency, this is the option for us to be able to meet so that we were able to conduct the business of the board and keep everyone safe. But at that time, I mean, I think when it's appropriate, I think absolutely the intent is we would like to go back to those in-person meetings. But again, we're always going to keep an eye on the numbers, when it's safe, and obviously depending on what the state legislature and the governor do.
Fred, can we also say that given how beneficial, I understand what Amy's saying, but at the same time, this has been an experience for the entire world. And given how beneficial having Zoom meetings have been to individuals who couldn't typically make a lot of the meetings, wouldn't we as a board, as a community investment, still keep our Zoom to enable people to have hybrid meetings, to enable us to have hybrid meetings? No?
And that is something that can be entertained by the board. Absolutely, I think we definitely have a wealth of knowledge and experience with regards to that. Again, this would be something that would be a conversation that we would have to have with the state legislators. So with our assembly members, well, our assembly members and our state senators, in terms of what seems to work. So that way, if there's an amendment that needs to be done to the open meetings law, it takes that into account.
Got it.
Not specifically for this vote, but it is definitely a conversation that we probably should have in terms of what we
Beverly,
should
for the
look like.
record, I agree with you.
I do too.
Yeah, in terms of what a post-COVID world looks like, I think, yes, we should, if we ever get there, please, we should have that conversation. It's appropriate, absolutely. Okay, Ms. Leopold, I'm sorry, we skipped over you. Yes.
Hi, I'm Dante. On this is security for the Zoom. I know that with the persons who are putting it together, is there anything that they can do to heighten the security based on the experiences that that we have had with persons infiltrating our meetings? Is there anything that could be done, any upgrades or anything?
I will have to look exactly at the functions of the Zoom to see exactly if that type of content can be filtered out. Unfortunately, it's going to be, I think it's going to be rather difficult to do. As you're aware, this is a public meeting. So if that were to happen in public, it's hard to prevent that from happening. But we can, without a doubt, look at the Zoom capabilities to see if there is a way to filter out that type of content. Yeah, I'll have to look at the capabilities, and yeah, I'll have to look at the capabilities to see if that's possible.
Because when we have meetings, and especially the meetings that being recorded, and then I'm not certain as to how you do it, but then the persons who have to filter it, who have to go over it to edit it, it kind of like, mind blowing. So yeah. I'm just wondering, Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We've exhausted the speakers list. So at this time, we're going to call the question. All those in favor of the motion to approve the expenditure of $2,500 for the extension of the Zoom license, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. All those members in opposition, please state your name for the record. Oh, thank you. All those members in opposition, please state your name for the record. All those members in opposition, please state your name for the record. Madam Secretary, please record there were no members in opposition. All those members who wish to abstain from the vote, please state your name for the record. Call again, all those members of the board who wish to abstain from the vote, please state your name for the record. Hearing no abstentions, I hear a majority of the board votes in favor. The motion carries. Thank
Motion
you very much. Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
Motion recorded.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Okay, we are now going to move on to the next item in the agenda. Actually, I think we've kind of addressed that. So we've taken care of the treasurer's report, the Zoom license extension. Thank you very much, Mr. District Manager, for your district manager's report. Let's work to make sure that we get the particulars of the district of the the audit report out to the board members, so that way they can see specifically what the audit points were and all the remediation items that you've already taken care of or in progress. Okay, so we'll make sure we have a discussion about that. Thank you very much. Okay, so we are now going to go into the chairman's report. I've got a couple of items. I'm going to keep it relatively brief. Let's start with item B first. My intent was to talk about some of the board accomplishments in 2021. And I want to say this, I am so proud of CB9 and the way it's been able to continue to serve our district with regards to continuing to handle the business, the resolutions we've adopted and passed. We were able to come together and actually hire a district manager after a 6-year process, a 6-year journey. We've been able to engage our partners. I'm very, very proud of the fact that we've had the farm stand, which is successful, running very well. It's really become a pilot program. All the partners are very excited about it. We were able to get additional funding, and that's been extended. So we are continuing with Fridays on Mill Street Avenue with Bringing Fresh Produce. We're continuing to have conversations to see how we can expand services to the members of the district who've been affected by the loss of the associated market. And there's just so many things that, I think I want to, again, I'll probably be thanking her for the rest of her life, but Ms. Moses and the ULURP committee with regards to the extensive work that they did with respect to the ULURP project that was undertaken in the district. More than the result, I was very proud of the way this board handled it in terms of we were able to address it, we were able to seek information, we were able to make sure that we were addressing the issues that were brought before the board. And I think that's what's significant. It's not always the result that we're looking for, but making sure that people have confidence in the fact that they are able to come to this board and speak their minds and be heard. Again, we don't always agree at the end of the day, but I think it's important that we set the table so that way people can have the conversation. And I want to thank the committee and this board for the way they handled that. And I did want to note that as the accomplishments for CB9. But again, I think that I also want to temper that with saying there is so much work ahead of us. As we mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of suffering, there's sickness, there's people who are crying out for help, there are people who need help, which means it's very important that we take the work of this board seriously, that we're committed to what we're supposed to do, to make sure that we're attending our meetings, to make sure that we're thoughtful, doing thoughtful participation, engaging stakeholders, engaging the community, to try and come up with the best solutions possible to navigate the storm. And it is a storm, but I firmly believe that working together, we'll be able to weather this and come out on a better side. Okay, I've already addressed the farm stand. I did have the opportunity. The governor's office had signed legislation that had called for testimony to be taken by the Department of State, I believe, with regards to cease and desist zones. So cease and desist zones would be established, or they're contemplating establishing cease and desist zones either for the entire borough of Brooklyn or for various areas in Brooklyn where solicitations from developers or real estate agents would be barred. So unless you contact them, they cannot just cold call you and ask you if you want to sell your house. One of the issues that have been brought up and discussed on a number of occasions is that a lot of times the communications are predatory. They're calling the elderly, they're calling the infirm, or they're calling when people who are responsible are not around, and utilizing some unsavory practices in terms of taking advantage of people and getting title to people's homes and getting them kicked out. So they actually had a hearing that happened. This is a couple of weeks ago. I was able to attend the hearing, but I did not actually offer testimony. I did have a conversation with our housing chair, and I think it's going to be critical that we do actually, as a district, take a position on this. So the housing committee will be working on this. And if there are any other committees that wish to work on this as well, this is an opportunity for us to be able to gather testimony. And my hope is that at some point, we can have an appropriate discussion and be able to offer a recommendation as a board in terms of where we feel the state should go with respect to cease and desist zones. I believe the deadline for testimony to be submitted is in June. I do not have it with me, but it is in June. So there will be activities that we will be undertaking in terms of trying to solicit input and get testimony from our neighbors as well. Okay, we've already mentioned we do have some committee chair appointments. I also want to thank, and I've been calling on her all evening, I do want to thank Ms. Linda Watson-Lord, who we've appointed as the interim executive secretary until we are able to have the election. I want to thank her for stepping up and taking that role on. Next month, we are scheduled to actually have the elections. I do ask for all members to please come and make sure we do this. We do this and we fill the spot on the executive committee. Last piece of business that I would like for us to address is a bylaws amendment with respect to virtual meetings. One of the developments that happened as well is the open meetings, the legislation that was signed by the governor last, I believe, August or September, had permitted for the extension of virtual meetings, permitted for the extension of virtual meetings through January 15th. Because that was going to sunset, and I want to thank the board, I think we had voted on this as well, where we voted on a resolution to extend it, especially given the fact that the emergency was continuing. Happy to say our voices were heard, and the governor did sign legislation extending the allowance of virtual meetings through the emergency. So we don't have a date. It's through the for the entire extent of the emergency, whenever that happens. So this gives us a tool to allow us to continue to work together, to be able to conduct the business of the board while maintaining safety, which I think is critical and paramount in this board. So with that, I had sent and I believe it's already been posted in accordance with our bylaws, text for an amendment, which would allow for the board to have a virtual meeting for the month of February, consistent with the legislation that was passed. And additionally, it will allow for the voting to be electronic for that one particular election. Just as background, this is something necessary, and we've done it on a couple of occasions before. The way our bylaws are constructed, it does not contemplate us meeting electronically. Our elections are supposed to be by paper ballot. Because we're in the middle of the emergency, we would have to authorize it through a bylaws amendment. We've done it on at least 2 or 3 occasions in the past. The amendment would only be in effect for this election in February, depending on how the emergency goes. If it lapses, we may need, if it's extended and goes through June, we may have to do something similar in June, but we'll contemplate that when we get closer. But for this evening, before the board is the bylaws amendment.
So moved.
Thank you. I have it moved by member Michael Liburd to adopt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Denise Robertson.
Okay. I heard a second by Ms. Williams.
Williams, yes.
I heard Ms. Williams with the second. Okay. At this time, is there any discussion? Are there any questions? Ms. Moses, I see you. Hold on one second while we take the list. Are there any other questions? Okay, I see no other questions. Ms. Moses, you have the floor.
All by myself. Okay. We have not seen a written copy of the Treasury report from the executive board member. And we normally get a written copy of the report, and I have not seen one.
Right, that hasn't been submitted yet.
I'm sorry. Point of order, Mr. Chair. Is there a motion on the floor?
Absolutely. Actually, that's correct. Your point of order is taken. Ms. Moses, let's conduct the vote first, and then we can address that point for you.
Okay.
To conclude my report. All right. Okay. So Are there any questions with respect to the amendment on the floor right now? Okay, seeing none, we're going to call the question. All those members of the board in favor of adopting the amendment as written, please say aye.
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 Aye. All those members of the board who are in opposition, please state your name for the record. All those members of the board who are in opposition, please state your name for the record at this time. Hearing none. All those members of the board who wish to abstain from the vote at this time, please state your name for the record.
Hello?
I call up. Yes, hello?
Yeah, we're voting? Aye.
Yes, yes. Are you voting aye? Okay, all right. Okay. Anyone who wishes to abstain at this point? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, please record that there were no votes in opposition and no abstentions. The motion carries.
So recorded.
Thank you so much, Madam Secretary. Okay, Ms. Moses, I'm sorry. Your question was again? It was to the Treasurer's report? I think it's coming back to me. With respect to the Treasurer's
Okay.
report, we have not.
Yeah, I haven't seen, we haven't seen a written copy of the Treasury report. Normally when a person is appointed by the executive board, that, you know, they're the overseers. So where's the written report? We have not seen one. At least I haven't seen one.
Right, there hasn't been a report. We were expecting that we were going to have the treasurer with us this evening to be able to provide at least some information with respect to that. He is not here. We will have the conversation offline and we will see if we can postpone the report for February. So perhaps we'll be able to give one.
Right, my point is that he or she doesn't have to be here, but the written document should be here. That's my point. So to me,
point taken.
Yeah, if you accept that position and give us the written stuff, we want to see it. And my second thing, and my second question to you is that will the board members receive a copy of the audit report? That's
absolutely. Yes,
okay,
the district manager is going to be distributing that to the board members and we'll have an opportunity to discuss as well. But let me just preface it by saying this, and I'm in total agreement with the district manager in terms of the substance of the report. This is not to say that it was perfect, but at the same time, I think that when board members see the report, I think you're going to see that there were very good, full faith efforts made by the board to be transparent, to make sure we're providing notices, to make sure that we were posting things as often as possible. I think even with discrepancies with the minutes, I think we got dinged on maybe one or two that were not found. But those are issues that we've already started the process of addressing. The district manager already spoke with regards to the website. I think we knew the website was a problem a long time ago, and we've already engaged the city in terms of helping us with the design of a new one that is in compliance with all the city regulations. So that is something that is there. I think there was one point that all the Brooklyn boards were dinged on with respect to hearings, which is a conversation that is probably going to go a little bit further. And I say that because it's not like we were the only one who got dinged. I believe almost all 18 Brooklyn boards received some kind of a note with regards to that, which kind of tells me that there's a problem where there's a miscommunication happening somewhere. But that is something that we're going to take up with Borough Hall. We'll take it up as you know, with the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs, and we'll try and understand that. But this is just to give a flavor of some of the things that were noticed in there. But I concur with the district manager's assessment in terms of, as a board, I think we were in very good shape. And I think the items that are there are things that we might have known about and we're working on. And one of the things we always continue to do is try and improve as a board in terms of the way we operate. But I will leave, once it's distributed, I'll leave that to the board members to review and develop their own questions, and we'll be able to take care of it at that point.
well, that's not why I was asking for it, because audits are good. No committee or anybody's perfect. And the reason that they have audits is so we can improve in what we're doing. So I don't look at it as a downfall. I look at it as yeah, we need to do that to improve. And all I'm saying is that it should be open so that we know what our corrective action is going to be. That's the only reason I brought it up.
Absolutely. Oh, no, absolutely. No, you were right to bring it up. And I think it's a point well taken, and absolutely we're going to make sure that the board has access to that report and know what we're doing and how we're fixing things or improving. I see Warren Burke, and then we're going to close on Warren.
Hey, everybody. Fred, I just wanted to make a correction to Pat's statement that the treasurer is elected and not appointed by the executive committee.
Okay, duly noted. Thank you for that. That is
Mr. Chair?
point of information. Yes, I hear a
Yeah,
voice. Who's that?
I just want to
Yep.
note for the record, because I'm getting a lot of questions about the report. If you go onto our website right now and you go into the news section, the audit report is on our website. Go onto our website, go into the news section. It's the first one. It's there, but I'm still going to send it out to all the board members. But I just wanted to note for the record and for all the board members who are on here and members of the public, it is available for the public on our website.
Thank you very much. Did you just post it, or when did you post it?
No, it was posted today, but before right now.
Understood. Okay, thank you. Okay, all right, so that completes the chairman's report. All right, at this time, is there any old business for the board to consider? Okay, seeing none. Is there any new business for the board?
I believe that Mr. Lightbird has his hand raised.
Mr. Lightbird, yes.
Yes, Mr. Chair, going back to what Dante just mentioned about this information being in the news part of the website, is that a matter of practice for us, that information is there? And if it is, this might be a good time for the board to understand that if they're looking for specific information, that they should go there. So they can be fully informed about any updates by you or the district manager or the executive committee. That could be the place where we park information that we should be reviewing, and then it's on us to check the information prior to this meeting.
Yes, that is where we usually put information. We also send it out to the board, but yes, we will usually put the information on our website in the news section, and we will continue to do that even with our new website with a different layout.
Thank you. And perhaps one thing you might want to look at is just, as opposed to sending the attachment as well, once you post it, send the link to where it's located directly so members can go right there. It'll drive traffic to the website and we can use that as the resource. So you don't have to do the work twice, you just post it and just send the link after that. Okay. And you know what, actually, we're in new business, and this is one item I meant to mention as well. The Borough President's office has actually opened up the portal. So it was a delay, but the portal for membership on Community Board 9 has been opened. So if you go to the Borough Hall website, it has the link there if you wish to join, if you wish to be considered for membership on Community Board 9. The deadline was originally the middle of February, but because the link came out late, it's pushed. The deadline is March 4th is in my head, but sometime early March. Anywhere between March 2nd and 4th or something like that. So one of those days. But yeah, we can confirm that. But if you go to Borough Hall website, it will have that there. It's an opportunity. One of the things we are looking at, and unfortunately we may need to push it, but one of the things we would like to do as a board as well is have an open house, a virtual open house, in terms of we can discuss the board, the functions of the board, what's required by the charter mandates, what activities we do, what the expectations are, as well as some of the activities that we've done, just to kind of give people a flavor in terms of what the expectation would be for being on the community board. So we had a tentative date of January 31st. We had a tentative date of January 31st, but since we pushed that date back, we'll probably work with the district office in terms of seeing what date seems appropriate. But absolutely, we would like to give people an opportunity to kind of understand what we are, what we do, and see if this is something that they would be interested in doing as well.
Fred, are we going to speak with the borough president about some of the concerns in regards to the application prior to the open house?
Yes, that is definitely something I would like to do. So I do intend to engage Borough Hall with respect to that.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, no, I will engage Borough Hall. Okay. All right. Is there any other new business?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr.
Yes. I want to congratulate us for all the progress we've done in the last year. And that's the hardest thing is to get a machine going. But once you get the machine going, the hazard is that the machine shouldn't run in the wrong directions. And there are a lot of issues that I saw at this meeting coming up, which are going to result in controversy unless we are going in the same direction, unless there is a consensus. And I think that more important than these words like equity is the word consensus, because not everyone is going to come with an equal footing. For example, we're talking about the proposal to stop soliciting. The question is going to be, should we raise a blanket ban on soliciting and shut down the real estate business? There are many issues over here that, frankly, I think they have to be tailor-made. They have to go through many committees, not just one committee. There was an issue where the police committee was raised on the environmental, and there's an issue in which the Parks Department, in its budget, should put back the garbage cans on Eastern Parkway that they took away, on the service road of Eastern Parkway on this side of the district. Also, I think that because Councilwoman Neely brought the proposal together, we should have the courtesy of asking Mrs. Neely's support, and not just the other one council person. And I think that if we do this right, I'm gung-ho that we can get a lot of things done on all of these issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Balberg. Wholeheartedly agree. Okay. All right. So with that, seeing no other new business, I want to thank everyone for your time, your diligence. 22 has started off rough, but this is a tough board. We've been through a lot, and we are capable, and we are going to do this. I thank everyone for your commitment and your service. I remind everyone, please make sure your attendance, make sure you're going to your committee meetings, make sure you're attending board meetings. If you are not able to attend, please let the district office know. We can't do anything or help you if we don't know. So if you're in trouble or if there's something that you need to take care of, please just let us know. Okay, and with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Okay, I see Augustine Blackwell, and I heard like 19 seconds. Let me get one. Let me get 1 second. Let's see who likes us first.
Gonzalez.
Any second? Linda Watson Lord gets the honor.
Gonzalez.
First.
No, I said I was
I'm sorry.
Miss Williams.
Bishop Gonzalez?
Yeah, Bishop.
Yes. Yes,
okay,
sir.
Bishop Gonzalez. Okay, we've got you as the second. All right, all those in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
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 Aye. I hear a majority of the board. I hear a majority of the board. We stand adjourned. The time is 9:29. Everyone, take care. Thank you, and stay safe.
Good
You
night.
too, and thank
Have a
you.
Wonderful
well.
night
Thank
and
you.
weekend, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everyone. Be safe, be
Happy
well.
New Year to everyone. God blessing to everyone.